Hello, welcome to Shades of Harassment for Employees. At IHOP, we have shared values, one of which is respectful interaction. We treat everyone with respect and value their unique contributions to IHOP's success. Whether you work for IHOP Corp. Or for a franchisee, it is important that you understand our values and expectations for your behavior. The purpose of this program is to ensure that you understand what is and what is not workplace harassment, so you can avoid behavior that might cost you your job. That you are aware of the numerous people to whom you can complain about workplace harassment. We are committed to providing a safe and productive work environment for all employees. With that in mind, this training is offered to enhance your work environment. If you have any complaint about harassment or perceived harassment, you can go directly to the harasser and ask them to stop. If you feel at all uncomfortable speaking to the offender, you can report the behavior to the store manager, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee.
We do not tolerate harassment of any of our employees, customers, or clients. Any form of harassment which is related to an individual's race, religion, color, sex, orientation, national origin, ancestry, citizenship status, marital status, pregnancy, age, medical condition, handicap, or disability is a violation of this policy and will be treated as a disciplinary matter. For these purposes, the term harassment included slurs and any other offensive remarks, jokes, other verbal, graphic, or physical conduct.
IHOP does not tolerate any of the behaviors listed. If you are experiencing any of these behaviors, it is your responsibility to report the behaviors to either your manager, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee.
So, what's up with you and Wade? Is it really over?
Finally. I must have been deranged. What did I ever see in that guy? And of course now, I have to see him every day at work.
Didn't I warn you about dating at work? But no, you were in love. Oh my God.
Hey, wait. I hear that Shannon dumped you.
Dumped me? She didn't dump me. It was a mutual understanding. It just wasn't working out, man.
Oh, a mutual understanding. Yeah, right.
You know what I heard, buddy?
What?
I heard you were man enough for her. Know what I mean?
Well, now that Shannon's a free woman, maybe I'll show her what it's like to be with the real man.
Hey, cut it out, guys, all right? It's hard enough dealing without your crap.
We're just trying to help you get over her.
Don't you have guests to wait on or something?
Guess to wait on. Right after I grab Shannon's number. Girl's about to get lucky.
Oh.
Come on, Joe. Watch me sweep this woman off her feet.
It's really uncomfortable, and the worst is when, you know, we have to do side work together, or I have to seat his section, and, you know, if we don't have to speak, it's okay, but every time we have to work together, it's really tense.
Well, it's just very uncomfortable. And you want to make sure that when you come to work that, you know, you're very professional and you just do your job and you do it well. But when you have personal problems, it really does affect your attitude, and it's all about customer service here. So I told her it wouldn't be a good idea.
Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should go talk to him, because as it is right now, to see them together and to see Joe just laughing about it like it's no big deal, you know, it's going to create some serious hostility.
Yeah, I found out that Wade went to the supervisor and complained, but I think it was all Patrick's fault, not mine. I was just asking him questions about his relationship. I didn't do any harm.
One of the most important distinctions for you to make about workplace harassment is whether the conduct is welcome or unwelcome. Was Allison's behavior unwelcome? Of course it was. Discussions about another employee's personal life are usually unwanted by both the employee being discussed and others who are trying to work. In this type of situation, it is crucial that you stop the unwanted behavior by telling your coworkers to leave their personal lives outside the workplace. All our employees have the right to come to work, do their jobs, and go home without being harassed, and without being the victim of gossip and rumor. Everyone at IHOP is entitled to being treated with respect. People's dating practices should never be a subject that is discussed at work. When the conversation about someone's personal life becomes unwanted and repeated, it is unacceptable. You must either ask your coworkers to stop the gossiping, or you must report their behavior to your manager, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee.
Mr. Borelli, I need to take a break right now.
The lunch rush is about to start. Can it wait?
No, it can't. Mr. Borelli, you know that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not feeling well. I have to take a break. Guys, quit your clowning and get back to work.
Yeah, right. Why doesn't he tell her to get back to work?
Yeah, Mr. Borelli, we're being discriminated against here. We have rights too, you know. This I need a break routine is getting really old.
Yeah, why should we have to do her work for her? Just because she has a disability.
Patrick?
I mean, every time my hemorrhoids flare up, you don't...
Patrick.
Hey, give me a break. I mean, everybody's got an excuse around here except guys like Joe and me. We're doing your work. Don't you realize that?
Patrick.
What I hope Mr. Borelli does is nicely explain to Patrick how I have a situation that is beyond my control, but I don't want him to reprimand him or yell at him because that's just going to make Patrick more angry at me, and he'll just take it out of me at work when Mr. Borelli's not looking.
Was the men's behavior welcome? Of course not. Retaliating against a disabled employee who receives accommodations is against the law. The disabled person might feel embarrassed or uncomfortable asking you or other employees to stop. If you are uncomfortable asking people to stop behavior that is unacceptable, you can go to your supervisor, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee and report the unwanted behavior. You must be proactive and report any unwanted kidding in the workplace. We want to utilize all the talents of our diverse workforce. Providing accommodations for our employees with disabilities is one of the ways we meet that goal. Failing to accommodate employees with disabilities prevents us from utilizing their talents. Now let's observe Mr. Borelli intervening with the men.
Now you know why you're here, right?
Come on, Mr. Borelli. We were just kidding around. But she's been getting special treatment here since the day she started, and that is not fair.
Patrick, you can't joke around like that anymore. Our company wants to provide a work environment where all our employees can contribute their talents. And if that means that some employees need special accommodations, well, then we want to provide them.
Great. I'm on board. But she takes more breaks than anyone.
The laws have changed. The Americans with Disability Act protects all our employees with disabilities. It requires that we make accommodations for any employee with disabilities.
Well, whatever that means.
Well, it means that Shannon is entitled to certain accommodations because of the disability she has. So when you tease her or you embarrass her, you're breaking the law. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to document this counseling session. And if I hear that you're still teasing her or harassing her, I'm going to have to take more drastic action.
Mr. B, okay, this is nuts. We were just messing around. She doesn't mind a little joking.
Can I be honest with you, Patrick?
Yeah.
I talked to Shannon and she does mind. She says you're embarrassing her and you're making it difficult for her to work here. Our company wants to provide assistance to any employee that needs it. And I would hope if you needed a certain accommodation, we provide it for you.
Yeah, whatever.
And Patrick, if I hear you're taking this out on Shannon, you're going to have to look for another job. Are we clear?
We're clear.
Thank you.
Well, they've made it pretty clear how they feel about it. I wish they knew that I would give up the breaks in a heartbeat if it meant I could just be normal like everybody else. It's embarrassing enough that I have to that I have to bring attention to myself.
This leads to the next important distinction about harassment. What makes this type of harassment unacceptable is that it is based on a protected class. Some questions to ask yourself to determine if behavior is based on protected class are: is this a sexual advance? Is it racial, based on national origin? Age-based, religious, based on pregnancy or marital status? Is it based on citizenship, veteran status, disability, or a medical condition? Is the behavior causing a hostile workplace environment? Allison's behavior in the first scene was sex-based and unwanted. The men's behavior in the second scene was disability-based and definitely unwanted. We are now going to observe another situation. Remember to keep in mind the following two questions. Is the behavior unwanted or unwelcome? Is the behavior based on a protected class?
Wow, what a pretty cake. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Thank you, guys. This is really great.
Of course,
Thanks.
Elise, we are terribly sorry that we could not find a cake big enough for all your candles.
Thanks.
Hey, Elise, read the card I got you. Right there, right there. Come on, read it.
Even though you're 50, Elise, you're still hot stuff. Only now it comes in flashes.
Now, look, don't forget your present. You know I wouldn't just get you a card. I get you a little present. I put a lot of thought into this.
I bet you did,
It should come in real helpful, real handy.
Let's see.
Now, look, that should be able to help you serve guests a little bit faster.
Where'd you get an idea that's so tacky?
Well, you know, Larry, we can always just seem to count on you to push the bounds of taste.
Oh, come on, guys. You know, she's always struggling with those trays. Y'all see her. I'm just trying to loosen the mood a little bit. Come on.
So, Elise, how's it feel? Elise?
Hey, where you going? The party's just getting started.
Elise?
Thanks, Larry. That's just what I'm afraid of.
I really don't know. I was just told by Samantha that we were going to have a party for her today, so I just showed up. I decided I was going to go and get her some gifts. I thought it would be a little funny, so that's what I did, and I showed up because I know she's been around for a long time, and I just wanted to pay some respects, but still try to have fun with it.
I think that there are some things that Elise can't do as well as some of the younger or stronger members of the team, but in what she can't do as far as strength or volume, she makes up for it with great customer service. She's fantastic with the customers. She has the longest list of regulars at this restaurant, so she certainly earns her keep. She certainly holds her own.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I go to the gym 3 times a week. I feel really healthy, and I think, frankly, that my age and my wealth of experience that I've had just living is something that I can give the customers. And it's not all young people who come in here either. So that's something I feel that it's good to have a variety of ages to help them.
Were the age-based jokes unwelcome? You bet. You might think your behavior is friendly horseplay or joking. The person who is the victim of your jokes can perceive your jokes as harassment. It is important for you to avoid behavior you might call joking or kidding. If the joking or kidding is about a protected class, you could lose your job. Was the employee's behavior at the birthday party based on a protective class? You bet. Elise is over 40 and therefore falls into a protective class due to her age. Jokes and kidding about old folks will be treated by the company as harassment, even if it was supposed to be all in fun. We do not want any employees to feel uncomfortable or that their contribution is unwanted at IHOP. If you feel any employee's behavior is unwelcome and based on a protected class, you can feel comfortable asking them to stop it. If you are uncomfortable asking the employees to stop, you should report their behavior to your supervisor, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee. Now let's look at another situation.
Hi. Right this way. This way.
Hey, I got this one. You look swamped. Follow me. Sorry about the wait.
What was that about?
Right here. Waiter should be coming to take your order in a minute. Hope you guys have a nice meal. All right?
Hey, Larry.
What's up?
What's up with seating that couple in my section?
Oh, your section was next to be seated.
Look, Larry. Just seat them in your own section, okay, if you want to do me a favor.
Look, man, my section was just seated. What's your problem? Are you too busy or something?
Come on, Larry. You know black people don't tip. Don't take it personal, man. It's the truth.
How is that? Do we walk in with a sign on our forehead or something? Look, you need to check yourself. Somebody might take that as a stereotype.
Look, black people don't tip as well as white people do, okay? It's a fact.
Look, you're tripping. Won't you just do your job and shut up?
Hey, relax, man. Okay, I was just joking. And don't get so serious. I just thought maybe you'd have better luck in your own section.
You know what? Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Hey, look, just chill out, man.
You chill out.
If I offended Larry, I would feel terrible about it. I would. Larry's a good guy. He's a good egg.
I believe that people aren't racist in the company, but I mean, there's always stereotypes no matter what, and I don't think they did it on purpose. It was just pretty subconscious. I know Shannon and Patrick, and they're pretty nice people, but it's just, I guess, how they came up or whatever it is. And I know they didn't really mean to do that and hurt anybody intentionally, but they just, I think, need to be more vigilant about what they're doing.
I was surprised that they tipped me quite well. Pleasantly surprised, obviously. You know, maybe that'll make a difference later on. I don't know. I mean, maybe it will.
Were the server's stereotypical comments welcome? Of course not. If an employee is treating persons of one race differently than persons of another race, that could be perceived as unwanted and harassing. Making stereotypes about different races can be seen as harassing and is unacceptable. Comments that lump people by race or by protected class, such as "you people," could be seen as harassing. Even persons overhearing the comments might perceive the comments as harassing. Was Patrick's behavior based on a protected class? In other words, did he treat any person differently based on age, race, sex, religion, national origin, physical or mental challenge, medical condition, pregnancy or marriage? He did. Does his behavior create a hostile workplace environment for Larry? It does. Larry is trying to focus on the work at hand, and Patrick is making judgments about guests based on their race. Making stereotypes about groups of people leads to harassment. It causes enormous stress and loss of productivity in the workplace. You can see after this vignette just how it affects employees. Stories, fantasies, pictures, jokes, and stereotypical comments based on protected classes should be left outside the workplace. If the employees involved are offended by the behavior, or if the people who overhear the conversation are offended by the behavior, that's harassment. And it's your responsibility to stop it or to report it to your manager, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee. This brings us to the third and last distinction about harassment. The behavior affects a term, condition, or privilege of employment. One of the terms or conditions that IHOP has established is that you are treated equally regardless of your sex, your sexual orientation, nationality, race, religion, pregnancy, veteran status, disability, marital status, or age at work. This means you have the rights to equal pay, benefits, and promotion based on your work performance. To put it simply, you have the right to come to your work, do your job, and go home without being harassed. Now let's look at two different situations where harassment affects the terms, conditions, and privileges of employment.
Can I get some help, guys?
Wait, I'm out of here.
Oh, you should have seen him. Stupid! If only you could have seen.
What's your problem?
Problem? What type of problem are you referencing, Joe dear?
Forget about it, Joe. Patrick's just being a jerk.
I'm not blind. I see all of you mocking me behind my back.
We're not mocking you. We're just playing with you. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Girlfriend.
Elise? At least have the guts to say what you're thinking to my face.
Oh, you wouldn't want to hear it, Joe. Trust me.
At least I don't think Joe needs to hear everything you think.
No. Go ahead, Elise. You've obviously been waiting for this opportunity for a long time.
Come on, girl. We have work to do. Come on, Patrick, you too. We have work to do.
we rubbed him the wrong way. I think that if Allison and I hadn't been laughing and, you know, if we'd been on his side, probably we could have, you know, just said, cool it, Joe, it's okay, it's not a problem, he's just being silly today or something. But we didn't, you know, we were sort of ganging up on him a bit, and I think that's why he felt so bad.
I reported Patrick for being ignorant and for harassing me on the job. You know, it's against the law what he's doing, and he needs to know that his job could be in jeopardy for that.
Well, I felt that it was warranted because, I mean, Patrick was being stupid. I mean, he didn't have to do that. I mean, Joe is very sensitive, and I understand that.
He took it too far, I thought. You know, I was just messing around with him. I've known him for a while. I've been working here 6 months. Everything's cool. And he overreacted. And I was probably out of line. You know, I get that a lot these days. But we're just, you know, we're just messing around. We're just buddies. It's the way it was. But it bothered me that he reported it. I mean, we've all, you know, played games and played jokes with each other before. I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal.
Can you see that Allison, Patrick, and Elise's behavior is unwelcome, is based on a protected class, and affects the terms of employment? What terms, conditions, and privileges of Joe's employment are being affected? Joe has the right to come to work, do his job, and go home without having to listen to mocking, mimicking, or snickering from his coworkers. If you are subject to such behavior, you must report it to your manager, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee. If you are being singled out or stereotyped by a coworker, you are to report your concerns to a management person, human resources for company-owned restaurants, or to your franchisee immediately. You do not have to complain directly to the harassers, although you can if you want. The company expects you to report such inappropriate behavior. Now let's look at your final example of workplace harassment.
Good morning, Mr. Borelli.
Hey, Allison, come here. I got a good one for you.
Huh?
Right? You know how they came up with the name for PMS?
Ha ha, very funny.
Come on, let me finish my joke. Mad cow disease was already taken.
Ha ha. Look, I gotta get going.
Allison, it's just a joke. Where's your sense of humor? Lighten up. My wife thought it was hysterical.
Look, Mr. Borelli, I have work to do.
Was Mr. Borelli's behavior unwelcome? You bet it was. Was his behavior based on a protected class? Yes, it was based on gender. Did Mr. Borelli's joking affect any of the terms, conditions, or privileges of Allison's workplace? It certainly did. Allison thinks she has to work in an environment where she has to put up with sexual jokes as a condition of maintaining her employment. We don't want any of our employees to feel this way. You have the right to say whatever you want in this country, or receive whatever you want over the internet, but not in the workplace. By repeating such jokes at work, you could be endangering your job. Jokes and comments from a coworker, vendor, guest, or a supervisor that are based on gender, race, religion, national origin, or any other protected class will not be tolerated. Male bashing or female bashing is harassment and will not be tolerated. Jokes about age, religion, racial differences, pregnancy, marriage, and physical or mental disabilities will not be tolerated. Horseplay or sharing of stories about different protected classes is unacceptable, against the law, and will not be tolerated. Treating one group of people differently because of their ethnicity, race, religion, or sex is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Use the following guidelines to develop a safe, productive work environment and to protect yourself from claims or termination of employment.
Never assume that friendliness means that you can act with your coworkers as you would a friend. You must maintain a professional demeanor with coworkers. Tell your coworkers the same thing. Just because no one has complained about joking, kidding, or advances doesn't mean that they're not feeling harassed. Don't assume that your behavior is okay just because no one has objected to it. Be sensitive to others and act appropriately. If something you want to say or do is not appropriate for a professional environment, don't say it, don't do it. If you say or do something that is not appropriate for a professional environment, you must stop it. Ask yourself, would you say or do this if your spouse or loved one was next to you? Would you want your spouse, children, mother, or loved ones to have to put up with this behavior? If you're still in doubt, don't say it nor do it. If you have to ask yourself, should I be doing this? The answer is no.
If someone indicates that your behavior is unwanted or objectionable, stop it immediately and don't do it again. We hope that this program has helped to clarify what is and what isn't workplace harassment. Being friendly and having a good time at work is not harassment. All of the examples you've seen in this program are harassment. Be friendly and have a good working relationship with your employees. Don't create a negative environment by engaging in unwanted conduct that is based on a protected class. What this program is really about is respecting workplace differences. By treating everyone in the workplace with dignity and respect, regardless of their sex, race, color, nationality, or religion, this supports our shared values and contributes to IHOP's success. If you do this, you will make this a fun place to work and will make us all more successful in serving our guests and in achieving our mission to be #1 in family dining.